Okay, here's something. I have two dogs, two Doberman, and one of them is extremely allergic from June. I could time it this year. It was June 19th when it started again, to about November, the end of November. He's just allergic to the environment. So I have to give him a lot of baths. He smells. And there's times when it gets so bad that he smells, and I can smell him from if he's way in the back of the house, and I'm in the front. So I do give him a lot of baths during this time of year, and I could even go up to 2 baths a day because I have sinus issues too. And when he smells bad, I get sinus headaches, and it's just a mess. We have this unintended symbiosis that aggravates. Well, he aggravates me with his allergy, with my allergies, and I love him to pieces, so I need to fix this. I tried a lot of different things, and I finally, I thought it was the food. There was, I thought maybe when he was a puppy he had mange, but that wasn't the case. He does get this paw thing where his paws stink really bad. Pododermatitis, I think it's called, but that's part of the allergy. Anyway, the bottom line is that I need to give him a lot of baths. So, let me turn this a little bit. So, I have a formal bath every Sunday where I put him in my bathtub made for dogs, and also my female, who doesn't have the allergies, but she still gets that Dobie smell, and I don't like it, so I have to. Some people say, "Oh, this paw smells like Fritos." Not to me. Anyway, they get a formal bath on Sundays where they go in the bathtub. I soap them up really good in between toes and everything, do their ears, and on Saturdays I Dremel toenails every Saturday, so they're nice and kept nice and short. And then during the week, the female who's not allergic will get a bath probably on Wednesday, Thursday, one of those 2 days, and then my male starts with that too, but by the end of the season I'm sometimes giving him 2 baths a day so I can breathe when he's around. Poor guy, he can't help it. So I've trained him early to take baths, and we've done the bathtub baths, and now for interim, because it's just a lot easier on me and him, that I can do it while he's standing on the ground. And I don't do a full suds. I use a hose attachment where I add some conditioner and shampoo. Now, I used to think that the shampoo had something to do with him. He gets itchy, for one thing, and he's scratching, and his ears smell, but his ears are clean because I do them once a week. There's no gunk in them. But just the odor's coming out everywhere, and the paws, oh gosh, they really reek. As a matter of fact, sometimes when I come in the house at the end of the day, every day, I have a little bucket and I put soap in it. I forgot the name, chlorhexidrine, I think it's called. Hibicleans. But I could use any soap that's like good for the dog, and it's made for dogs and antibacterial sort of thing. It's diluted in the water. So I dunk each of their paws and rub them really good. Then I make them walk around out here, and then we go inside where their paws are mostly dry. So at least they get some of the smell off, and it helps me breathe. So anyway, we are now going to do a bath with the hose attachment. And the only reason I can I do have a hose attachment to the house that I use during the winter, because they still get their weekly bath in the winter, but it's a cool water, so I can use the hot water. In the summer, like right now, it's sweltering out here, and I use well water, and the well water is warm, tepid to warm. It's not cold at all. So I use that water during this time of year to wash. And I'm going to set it up just to show you how important it is to get your dog started on a bathing routine. If you're lucky enough to get a puppy, you should start that right off the bat, touching the nails, trimming the nails, and bathing, brushing, even if it's short hair breed, which is what I have. I do all that. You have to get your puppy acclimated to touching and grooming, because if all of a sudden you decide when the dog is 6 months old and stronger, like a Doberman for example, then when you have a puppy who is averse to these things, then you're going to have a big deal problem. I've had 2 dogs this year. Actually, I've had 3 dogs since last year, mid last year. Big dogs, a pit bull, a Doberman, and a dog that was a sporting breed dog. And they were all puppies that were older. They were around 6 months old. And I needed to bathe them for one reason or another. And I'll tell you, the water breed dog, the sporting dog, was easiest. The pit bull was not so bad, but it was still an effort. The Doberman comes and goes. She comes here sometimes, and I'm still working on her because they're all strong. They are strong. And Doberman melt. That is not really, but some of them do not like to get wet, and they think they're going to melt. So the families with those 3 dogs, luckily I was able to help the 2 in particular get to that point where they can go home and have the bath, and the Doberman we're still working on, but she's coming along. Usually she gets a bath when she comes here to visit me. So I'm just emphasizing this is very important. People often neglect the grooming aspect of their puppies. And I even get dogs now, I mean, some of their nails are just too long. And one of the requirements to come here for board and train is to have your dog's toenails clipped before and have a bath. And a bath that's not non-scented. I can't handle the perfume and that, you know, again, me, allergies. But I get some dogs with their nails that are so long, and they've been trimmed a little bit, but you have to keep up with that. Nails get so long that they start to curl, and then the dog is having trouble walking, and the nail bed pushes up against the paw pad, and it's just very uncomfortable. So keeping your dog on a grooming routine, even with the very minimal, with short-haired breeds, is very important. You start them out at the beginning, and you keep it going. No matter how tired you are, every week you need to keep this grooming going, and when they're a puppy, it's daily. I would do daily. I did my dog daily, whether it was brushing and grooming the nails and whatever. And my female Dobie, I got as an adult, and she was one that never had grooming techniques done. She must have had a bath though, so she wasn't so bad, but she was afraid of them, and she wanted to run off, but I have gotten to the point where now she will stand for the bath and jump into the bathtub for our formal Sunday baths. So she's not loving it, but she loves what she gets afterwards because there's always some good food available. And they go in their crates to dry off. I put towels or I have a mat that's absorbent, water absorbent, and they'll go in there and after I towel dry them out here, they'll get their special treats, and they're big ones. They're not little like cookies. They get cow ears, rawhide chews, and also I make food toys. So they'll have a food toy as well. And that is why I do that. Repeat every time they have a bath and they go in and they get that. When I do toenails, they get special sausages while I'm dremeling. With puppies, when you're working them, you've got to feed them during the whole time. While you're bathing, while you're grooming, to start them out so that they like what's happening to them. Feeding is a good thing. They like food, and so if they're so crazy that they're like, I can't eat, that means it's too scary for them, and you'll need to either get better food or just back off and do, like, instead of brushing, petting them, and then putting the brush down, showing them the brush and letting them eat. Everything's incremental, but it's very important that you do find out how to groom your puppies, and then to do so, and as soon as possible. All right, so I'm going to show you what I do with my kids during the week. And just imagine if I hadn't trained them and I got this dog who's I love to pieces and smells so much. You know, I'd be in a pickle because I'd have to be able to bathe him every day. And if I didn't do the training before this whole thing started, you know, this would be something hard to do with a 100-pound dog. So, again, it's doable, but why make it hard on yourself? We all know our dogs are going to need baths through their whole lifetime. They're going to need their nails trimmed. Why make it hard on them? Make it easy on both you and your dog, and start the puppy training early. And if you get an adult dog, then you'll have to get some help with that if they are averse to the bath and the nail grooming. But you know, a lot of times groomers can help you, and there are some groomers that absolutely refuse to take certain dogs that are of certain size and unable to sit still. They fight, and I don't blame them. You can't wrestle an alligator. So that's where training would come in, and conditioning the dog to accept the bath, and that can be a long process, so there's patience involved. All right, let's get started with this bath. So this is my male's place to go after we have the bath. He likes the plastic crate and does not like the wire crate. Don't ask me why, because I don't know. But I've made this is called the Tux. It's by Westpaw, and I've stuffed this with meat, rice, veggies. I think there's some peanut butter. So that's going in the crate for when he comes out. And then I've also got a cow ear. So I put this in here, so I'm ready when he comes in. I'll towel dry him outside, and it'll be ready for him. All I have to do is open it up, and he'll go in when he's done with his bath outside. My female likes this crate, and so I have inside of it one of these absorbent carpets for dogs that absorb the water. I threw her cow ear in the back, and she too gets a stuffed Tux, which I'll leave right there. I always make sure that I lock the crate, because one of them might get the other one who's out getting the bath. I usually keep the other one in the behind a gate, but you never know when he gets out or she gets out and might be able to get her or his treat before the bath. So make sure you prep first and make sure you lock the crate. Also, the reason we want to have this all set up is when the dogs come in, they have the food inside the crate and they're ready to go. They just see it in there and they run in the crate, you shut the door, and you let them finish their towel dry. Now, if you've got a dog that's got longer hair, and then you might have to do more than this. But I'm talking about short-haired dogs here, and that's how I do it with mine. All right, so this is what the contraption looks like. You can get them online, but it's a removable. I believe they use them mostly for car washing, but lots of dog groomers use these. It's a removable piece here, and what I do with it is I take a conditioner, and the conditioner always ends up floating to the top, but I'll show you what I do. I put a little bit in the bottom first, a little bit more in here, and you can do whatever you want with your dogs. I mean, whatever shampoos you want, but I just like to have, this is very fragrant, smells good, and I use this hypoallergenic. I love Davis. I like their shampoos because this one in particular, it's thicker, so that when this, for this particular use, when see, it's thicker. So when the water squirts in, it just takes a little longer to use it. But I fill these both up, and I'm only going to use one of these things. But I'm going to put this back on, because when I'm out and the water's running, when I bring the second dog out, I'll just remove this one from this particular one and then add the second one. So I don't have to shut the hose off, and because this is connected to the water and the water's on. So what's going to happen is this pink thing is going to start coming to the top, as you can see already. So I usually turn it, wait, is that what I want to do? If I turn it upside down, I believe the conditioner will, yeah, see, this is already starting to come up to the top. So the conditioner will stay on top, but that's where I want it. So when I flip it over, I want the conditioner to come out last. It doesn't stay, it won't mix together. So you see here, it's the conditioner is definitely staying on top. So we let gravity do its work, and that makes sure that you have to make sure these are on correctly before you turn them upside down, or the shampoo will just come right out. Okay, so I'm going to put this outside. I'm going to set the hose up, then I'll bring the dog out. Oh, P.S. Make sure you have your towels ready. I take a couple towels outside so I can towel dry them before I bring them inside, so they run in their crates and then they have their goodies waiting for them. Alright, so make sure you put your towels out. I like to put my towels out here on the deck because I want to come over here and I want to dry them up here rather than on the grass, but everyone has their own preference. So just make sure wherever you want to dry, think ahead, put the towels out so that they're ready for you when you're ready for them. Okay, so as you can see, the conditioner is staying on top, which means the bottom of the container that I put them in. Here's a little tip for you. I use these male-female pieces that come that you can get at Home Depot or Lowe's to connect the hose to. So I put them on all my contraptions that I use on the hose. So this pops down and this goes on and then it's connected. So this is my regular hose nozzle. But I also put them on these things. So same thing, they snap right on. Before I start, I make sure that this is off. Because once I turn the water on, I don't want it to start spurting out. The other thing is, there's a sign here that says water, and then you can twist this thing around. And that means that the water will come down into the soap and stuff and start coming out. So I keep it on water because when I start, the water's very hot, and I make sure I test it before I use it because I don't want boiling hot water on my dogs. So it cools down, just have to run it a bit. Okay, so I'm going to get the first dog. So before I bring the dog out, I'm just going to make sure that I have the hose water is at a temperature that's not boiling, because right now it's hot. But I want to do this before she comes out. I'd rather not have her stand around waiting for me to get the water ready. Although she will. It's more polite. And it doesn't, the dog isn't feeling angst about, oh, I'm going to get wet. Okay. So now it's at a good temperature. You can see already that this, the conditioner is trying to creep up to the top. I just used the first notch for the shampoo to come out. I'm going to turn it back upside down and I'm going to get my first dog. Alright, so my first dog is my female, and she doesn't love baths, but I always put on a leash for her just in case she makes a decision to exit stage left or right. Emily, come here please. Thank you. Oh, you're so good. Oh, you're so good. Alright, let's go. Now she's going to say, what are we going to do? We're going to have a quick bath. It's so good. Water. Water to rinse off the soap. Okay, she did very good. Somebody walked by while we were doing that, and Emily, you come right back up. The last thing I want her to do is run out there and roll in the dirt, which dogs love to do, right? That's their thing. Okay, so one of the things about giving them a bath out here is a little dangerous for me, is because of the fact that dobies like to swing their butts around. And you can see this happening now. So I have to get a handle on this, because I don't want her to knock my knees out. Calm down. She's very excited because she knows that her cow ear is waiting and her special treat. Good girl. Ugh. So I have a bit of a left shoulder problem right now. My rotary cuff is healing. And this kind of bath is also good, so I don't have to use it as much. But I can still use it good. Just not, it doesn't have the same extension that normal. But if you have a dog, you know, if you need to give your dog a bath and something happens like that, this is another reason. It's more like a shower, right? A shower with foam. But that was very good. So now she's clean. Smell is gone. and we'll take her inside for her food. There she goes. She's going to go for that. I don't know which one first. She's got the cow ear, and she's got the tucks. She likes the tucks better, because Mama stuffs them with good stuff. Yes. All right, so she's done. Now on to do the male. All right. My boy, I got at an early age, so I don't need to put the leash on him. He's a little more trustworthy than the female. I have some shampoo left, not much though. Come over here, please. Falcon, over here. Thank you very much. Okay, I have this on mist, and now I got to put it back on water. does. Hello. I love you. Okay, when I turn it off and the release word is okay. So I only needed to use one of those containers for shampoo, and it did both of them, which is very good. So 2 showers. He's going to be very happy now. He doesn't do as much of the turning like my girl does, but what he does is he will turn into me, which is kind of scary. Belkin, get up here. I can't tell if this thing is going to be getting nuts or not, so I hope it does. Okay, he's bigger than my girl, so I use her towel that I already used just to get the main water off. You get closer to the door, please. Calm down. Putting the hand on the dog usually keeps them steady so they don't move. Get under the front chest, the legs, between the toes, between the other toes. Okay? You smell right here. This is where they smell a lot. I don't know why, but that's where a lot of the smell comes from, besides the feet. Alright, now we're going to go inside and he's going to get his treat. Okay, ready? Go. I cannot see a darn thing. Alright, let's go. Alright, go in there. Go ahead, start eating. What are you going to pick? I can hear my girl eating her cow ear. So he's going after the tucks too. They both like the homemade stuff first. Alright, so he's going to be in there drying. And I'm going outside now. And I'm going to clean up the mess I made. And now I've got 2 dogs that are clean midweek, conditioned, shampoo, and they're happily eating their rewards for being good kids while they got bathed.